I spent 6 months collecting Salesforce certification, put them all on my resume, applied to dozens of jobs, and heard nothing back. Complete silence, and I could not figure out why. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share the 5 things I wish someone had told me before I started my Salesforce career. The real lessons that nobody teaches you on Trailhead, that no certification prepares you for, and that the people who are thriving in this ecosystem right now figured out the hard way, just like I did. My name is Deepika. I have been in Salesforce world for over 10 years. I have trained thousands of students and I have watched people make the same avoidable mistakes over and over again. Today, I'm going to make sure you are not one of them. Here's what I want you to know before we dive in. When I started my Salesforce journey, I thought I was doing everything right. I was studying every single day. I was passing certification exams. I was collecting badges. I genuinely believed that if I just kept certifying, the opportunities would come to me. They did not until I understood something fundamental that changed everything for me. And that is exactly what this video is all about. So let me start with the one that stings the most because it is the one that strips up almost every single beginner. Lesson 1 is certifications open doors, but experience closes the deal. Here is the hard truth. A certification proves you can pass an exam. It does not prove you can do the job. Hiring managers see hundreds of resumes with the same certifications. Admin cert, app builder, maybe a platform developer one. They all look identical. What makes someone stand out is not another badge. It is a story, a real story about a real problem they solved in Salesforce. When I started interviewing candidates myself, I stopped caring about certifications after about 30 seconds. What I wanted to hear was, tell me about something you actually built. Tell me about a business problem you actually solved. Tell me what happened when it broke and how you fixed it. And here is the thing. You do not need a job to get that experience. Salesforce gives you a completely free developer edition, or you can build anything you want in there. Build a custom app to track your job applications, build a volunteer management system for a local nonprofit, build something, anything that solves a real problem. Then talk about it in your interview like it was a client project, because functionally it was. The candidates who get hired are not the most certified. They are the ones who walk into an interview and say, here is something I built, here is the problem I solved, and here is what I learned. That combination is almost impossible to compete with. But here is what I discovered next, and this completely blindsided me when I was starting out. Lesson 2 is Salesforce is 50% tech and 50% soft skills. Nobody told me this. I spent all my time learning Flow Builder, learning SQL, learning object relationships, and completely neglected the skill that would matter just as much in every single job interview I ever had. Communication specifically, the ability to sit in a room with a VP of sales who has never opened Salesforce in their life and explain to them in one sentence why the solution you built is going to make their team more money. That skill is worth more than any certifications, and most technical people are terrible at it. Here is what happens in the real world. A user comes to you and says, I need a button that does this thing. And the instinct of every technical person is to go build the button. But the right move is to ask, what are you actually trying to accomplish? Because 9 times out of 10, the button they are asking for is not the solution to the real problem. The real problem is 3 layers deeper and requires a completely different approach. Learning to ask the right business questions and then communicate your solution in business language, not technical language, is what separates the admins who get promoted from the ones who stay stuck doing the same task forever. My practical advice, practice what I call executive communication. Take any Salesforce feature and force yourself to explain it in one sentence that a 10-year-old could understand and a CEO would care about. Do that every day and watch how differently people respond to you in meetings. Now, the next lesson was one I learned the absolute hardest way possible, and I do not want you to make the same mistake. Lesson number 3 is your network is your hidden job market. I applied for jobs the way most people do. I went on LinkedIn, I hit easy apply on everything that looked relevant. I sent my resume into the void and waited. What I did not know was that a huge percentage of Salesforce jobs, especially at the junior level, never get publicly posted at all. They get filled through referrals, through community connections, through someone in a Slack group saying, hey, I know someone who would be perfect for this particular role. And the Salesforce ecosystem has something that almost no other technology platform has a genuinely active, genuinely generous community called the Trailblazer community. There are local user groups in almost every major city. There are online groups, Slack communities, Salesforce Saturday meetups, and these communities are full of people who are actively hiring, actively referring, and actively helping each other. But here is the key. You cannot walk into a community and immediately start asking for a job. That never works. What works is showing up consistently and giving value first. Share a flow you built. Answer a question someone posted that you actually know the answer, and write up a lesson you learned the hard way. Help someone debug their automation. Be useful, be present. When you do that consistently, people remember you. And when a role opens up on their team, in their company, or they hear about an opportunity at another company, your name is the first one that comes to their mind. I have seen this work for students of mine over and over again. The network is not a nice to have. In Salesforce, it is genuinely the most reliable path to your first Salesforce job. And speaking of foundations, the next lesson is one that will save you months of frustration if you understand it early. Lesson 4 is understand the data model before you build anything. This is the one that causes the most long-term damage when people skip it. And almost everyone skips it. When you are new to Salesforce, everything feels too simple. You look at the standard objects, leads, contacts, accounts, opportunities, and you think this does not fit my exact use case. I'm going to build my own custom objects. And you start customizing everything. Custom fields everywhere, custom objects for things that standard objects already handle, automation built on top of automation, and it works for a while. Until 6 months later, the org is so tangled up with custom logic and technical debt that nobody can touch anything without breaking something else. I have walked into client orgs that look like this, and the cleanup takes longer than building the whole thing from scratch. The lesson is very simple. Salesforce spent decades designing the standard data model around real business processes. Before you build anything custom, deeply understand how leads converts to contacts and opportunities, understand why accounts and contacts have a specific relationship, understand how standard objects talk to each other natively. Spend more time on Trailhead learning standard object architecture than you do learning custom code. That knowledge will make every automation you build cleaner, every solution you design more scalable, and every job interview conversation you have more impressive. And the fifth lesson, this is the one that is most urgent right now in 2026, is one that most people are still sleeping on completely. Lesson 5 is AI skills are no longer optional. I want you to imagine two candidates applying for the same Salesforce admin role today. Candidate A has the admin cert, 2 years of experience, solid flow skills. Candidate B has everything candidate A has, plus they have their Salesforce AI specialist certification. They understand how Agentforce works, and they can talk confidently about prompt builder and how AI agents can automate business processes. Who gets the job? Every single time, candidate B. It is not even close. Here is the reality. Salesforce has gone all in on AI. Agentforce, their autonomous AI agent platform, is not a future feature. It is here right now, and companies are actively implementing it. The professionals who understand how to configure AI-driven workflows, set up prompt templates, and define what AI agents should and should not do inside a business are in extraordinary demand. And here is the thing that makes this such a massive opportunity right now. Most people learning Salesforce are still ignoring AI completely. They think it is too advanced. They think it is for data scientists. They think they will learn it later. That mindset is costing them thousands of dollars in missed salary and missed opportunities. The Salesforce AI specialist certification is genuinely beginner friendly. It is designed for people who are new to AI concepts. Start there, then move to the other AI related badges and add these to your profile right now before the market catches up and everyone has that. The window to stand out with AI credentials is open right now. Do not let it close on you. I also have a course on AI specialist. Go check out my website. So let me bring all of these 5 things together. Build real projects, not just certification. Develop your communication skill just as seriously as your technical skills. Show up in the Trailblazer community and give value before you ask for anything. Learn the standard data model deeply before you start customizing, and add AI skills to your profile right now before everyone else does. These are the 5 things I wish I had known on day one. Not because they are complicated, but because nobody tells you. Everyone is so focused on which certification to get next that they miss the things that actually determine whether you succeed. The Salesforce career I have built over 10 years was not built on certifications alone. It was built on real experience, real relationships, real communication, and a willingness to keep learning as the platform evolved. That path is wide open for you too, but only if you start walking it the right way. Now, if you are serious about starting your Salesforce career the right way, I have built structured courses on my website, my tutorial rack, that are designed around exactly these principles. Hands-on practice, real project experience, and exam prep that actually prepares you for the job, not just the test. The link is in the description below. Go take a look at it. And if you want to sit down with me personally and build a roadmap specific to your background, your goals, and where you want to be in the next 12 months, I also offer one-on-one career consultations, and I would love to help you map out your path. The booking link is also right there in the description. Spots are very limited, so please do not put it off, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you.